we've had 2 features that have been added, and we want to make sure that everybody is aware of those features. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And let me get logged in for today. Okay. So we're going to go to the tags area, which is up on your navigation bar. And this is the area when we trained about how to create reports. So this is an area where you can create custom reports, which most of you probably are already aware of, but just in case, I will just briefly go over it. You can run a report on anything you want. It has advanced filters, so you can add more filters. So let's say I wanted to see all of the items that were available, and I'm at Learning Campus. I'm at a school in our training database. And I wanted to see all the, let's say, document cameras. So I'm going to say their standalone is the asset type. And the location is going to be their in rooms. And I want to see a particular model number, so I can add another custom field, one that's not already listed. It's going to default to tag, but I'm going to click on the down arrow there, and I'm going to change it. Now, as you see right now, I can't see. There are more fields up here at the top, so I have to zoom in. That is a feature that is being worked on right now so that you won't have to do that to have it scroll. But for right now, I have to zoom in. I'm trying to get to models. So let me zoom in one more time. And it's going to have to zoom one more time. There are that many different items that you can choose from. And it is still not going far enough. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out so you guys can see everything, okay? So that is a feature we're working on. And I'm going to say contains 355. And then I click on go. And what it'll do is down below, it'll pull a report of all of the, in all the rooms, in a status of available, standalone, with the model 355. So it's going to show me all those down below. If I actually wanted to pull the report, I can go to the very bottom where it says tag listing, the last choice, and that gives me an Excel report of that data. So I can pull that up, and there it is. It gives you the report. So you can set any filters you want, any way you want to. You can also now, a new feature is you can email that report by clicking on the email report and put in the email address that you'd like to send that email to. If you want to put more than one email address, use commas to separate the email addresses. That's also a new feature. Other thing you can do in this area, and I want to make sure that you guys know this, is, okay, I'm being told that you can't hear me. Okay. Just one moment. Okay, it's come back on, they said. Okay, you can do a save search as. So if you go in and you set a lot of filters because you need to run a report for maybe an administrator on your campus and they want certain items and they tell you exactly, so you go in and set a bunch of filters, you can click on Save Search and call it a name that means something to you. I'm just going to say available 355, and I'm going to save it. So anytime I want to run that report, I don't have to reset the filters. I can just click on that link and it will automatically pull a report based on the filters that I have set. As time goes on, you'll have a box in the Save Searches that will build up with your saved reports. You can delete any that you don't want. You can also email the reports. So that's something very handy if you want to take the time to set a bunch of filters. Be sure and save that as a saved as so that you can quickly run that and not have to go through all the filter setting again. Okay, I'm going to refresh this. And we're going to talk about the new features that we're here for today. The first one is bulk edit. You can now bulk edit the status of tags on your campus, and you can do it all at one time. So an example is going to be, I'm going to click on Advanced Filters. And in my tag list box, and many of you probably know this, you can put into 500 tags in this box, and okay. Okay, they're saying that I'm having mic issues, so I'm not sure what's going on. I hope you guys are hearing me. Okay, now they're telling me you can hear me again. Okay, I'm going to scan some tags. As you remember, in the tag list box, you can scan up to 500 tags. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scan tags that are going to be that are laptops that need to be repaired. So I'm going to scan some tags in that box. And these are 5 laptops that I need to take for repair. So I'm going to click on Go. And as you can see, their current status is available. But I want to change that status to in repair. So I can click on this bulk edit up here on the grid in the left-hand side. And I can click on this drop-down and tell it I want to change the status. And I'm going to change the status to in repair. I click on this down arrow. If you want to put notes in here, you can. Maybe going to room 1000 for repair. You can put any kind of notes in there that you might feel need to put in there. Hit the down arrow. It's going to give me a sample of what I'm changing. I click on Go. It tells you that 5 tags are about to be edited. This includes all components being edited alongside their parent tags. Proceed with bulk edit. I tell it OK. And now when I close this, I'm sorry, I clicked too quick. There we go. They're all in a status of in repair now. So this is a new feature that you guys can use to bulk edit the status. That's the only thing you can bulk edit is status on these items. So you can filter down items that you need to change the status to. Maybe you have several items in a room that you need to change from available to in use. You could do anything like that with the bulk edit change. The next feature that we came out with is the bulk room transfer. So I'm going to choose a room number, and I'm going to choose room 600. And I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to close this box, and I'm going to click on Go. My example for you today is room 600 is going to be closed down because they have to do some demolition in that room, do some repairs. So I want to do a transfer and transfer all the items that are in room 600 to another room. So in order to do that, I'm going to click on Bulk Room Transfer, which is also on the grid right next to Bulk Edit. I'm telling it I want all items in that room to be transferred. My destination room is a new lab, which is room 605. the status is they're going to be in use in that room. If I were putting them into a storage area, of course I would choose a status of available, but they're going to be used in 605 just as they were in 600. It's just we have to do some work in room 600. And I'm going to click on Go. Now it does make you type in the word transfer here because we want to be sure, as you can see it tells you, once you've done this you can't undo it. There's 51 tags that are about to be transferred. All TIPWeb-IT users across the district will lose access to this application until processing is complete. When you're doing this many tags, it's not going to take long. That would be a lot of tags before it would jam it up. To proceed with quick transfer, type transfer into the field below and click confirm. So I've typed the word transfer. I'm going to click on confirm. And it's going to transfer all those items to the new room. So now all those items have been changed over. And now if I change this to 605, and I close this, and I click on Go, there are all those items. They have now been transferred to 605. Once again, you can pull the report if you want to pull a report of what you transferred. You can pull that up in Excel if you need to pull that for any reason. Or if you need to email that report, once again, you have the ability to email that report to whoever might need to know what was transferred. So now kind of where I'm at is because we do have two of us, I'd like to answer any and all questions you have about anything or what you want me to go over again. So let me see if I can see what some of the questions are. Okay, I'm looking to see if there's any questions. To check on live training, you would need to get in touch with Willie Dean Tate there at your CPS office. She is the one that's conducting trainings this week, and she could tell you when she's going to be training. So that's Willie Dean Tate, who is there at your CPS office. I'm waiting for the questions to show up. And Stephanie is reminding you that you can go into the Learning Hub there at Chicago and do a search by using the keyword TIPWeb, and it will list whatever trainings there are. Okay, Jesus, if you are logged in, you are, the reason you're not seeing bulk room transfer is if you're logged into your live data, is it has not been enabled for your district yet. That's something that Willie Dean needs to do on your side. So we'll need to get in touch with them and have that, or Stephanie may be able to do it from the office. Stephanie, can you chime in about that? Apparently, bulk room transfer has not been enabled at CPS yet. The question about can we use bulk edit to assign items to a room, you're going to want to do a room-to-room transfer if you're assigning them for the first time to a room. If you have a device that says it's a standalone and you feel like it's a parent, once you attach components to it, it will automatically change it to parent. So if it's showing a standalone, then there are no components attached to it. You'll go to the Components tab on that tag, and you will go in and you will attach whatever assets are going to be with it. And once you do that, it'll automatically change the status to Parents. You'll get access to your school's data once you've gone to a live training. The one about transferring tags from exposed status to the exposed room, my understanding is yes, the principal has to approve it before you can call the company to pick the things up, the recycle company. You could email him that report once you have them all and ask for his permission. If ProBar hasn't been to your school yet, you're wanting to manually start editing all the teacher loan-out laptops. You wouldn't have any tags in there yet, so you have to get your tags in there. So you would have to go to a training first to learn how to get those tags into the system before you could start issuing them out, unless they were tags that were part of the conversion and they're showing up in TIPWeb already. If they are, then yes, you could go in and start issuing them to your teachers, and your teachers should be in the system. Okay, I have a question about if the clerks are using the page now. My inventory was January 9th. It probably depends on if your clerk has been trained yet or not, on whether or not they're using it. You would probably need to check with them and see if they're using it. About ProBar was there and your tags are not there showing yet. Stephanie has given you a link to see when yours will be showing, because once ProBar is there, they have to submit the data to Hayes in Austin, and then we have a person that converts that data, cleans it up, makes sure there's no duplicate products or anything. So she has sent you the schedule, a link to the schedule, so that you can see when yours should be showing up. Yes, if your inventory's already been done, you can print out the classroom list. If your clerk is not clear on the purchasing area, she can go out to the Learning Hub, and there'll be a video on the step-by-step directions on how to do the purchasing. If she's still having problems after that, she can call the number that she was given in training. It's a toll-free number, and that will give her help to walk her through how to do it. If you're saying your data is uploaded and it's incorrect, that when ProBar comes, yes, they will correct it as far as whatever room the tags are in. That's what room they will be assigned to. We're doing one-on-one training on each site. Well, not one-on-one. We're doing live trainings on the site. And if you go into Learning Hub, again, you can look that up, and it'll show you when there are training schedules. There are quite a few trainings scheduled in the near future. Stephanie is saying that she will send you a list of the pre-recorded videos in the follow-up email. So in those lists, one of them will be purchasing. So like I say, if she's still having trouble after watching the video, do not hesitate to call and get help. So the email that Stephanie's going to send out, that will go to everybody that's on this call. So if ProBar missed some items, when you have your live training, when you come to a training, we will train you on how to get those items into the system. It's called initialization. That's how you get items in that were missed. We call those pre-existing items. Maybe a teacher had it locked up in the cabinet or it was in a closet and ProBar did not find it. So we train you in the live training on how to do it, and it's called initialization. Yes, this webinar will be posted. I'm sorry that there's been some microphone issues. I'm trying to make sure that it's clear as possible, but the recording will be uploaded. It will all be in the Learning Hub. If you go and do a search for TIPWeb, everything will be in the Learning Hub, all the videos. Some of them will be called, they'll just have the regular videos of different areas that you use. There'll be some that are recorded classes, which is what this is. And then there'll be enhancement videos. So when we release an enhancement, Stephanie at the office does the video and puts that out there for you. Stephanie is asking that all of you register for the policy review session, which will be on February 13th. Once again, you'll go to Learning Hub to register for it, and it will be a webcast. And I'm pausing, waiting for questions to come through, just so you know. Is there anyone that would like me to cover something else while we're on the call? Because we have time. You can put it in the chat box if there's something else you want me to cover. Yes, they're going to be covering the CPS policies that are being put in place. Can I go through how to add an item that was missed? Sure. You're going to go to Rooms on the navigation bar, and you're going to find the room that so what I'm going through now is what we call initialization. This is how to get items in that you may have missed, or ProBar may have missed. You don't want to do this until ProBar has come and gone. Once they have gone and your data has been converted, if there are items that are not in the system because they missed them for some reason, what you will do is you will go to Rooms on the Grid navigation bar. You'll find the room you're in. So I'm going to say, I'm just going to go to room 32. So I've gone into room 32 and they missed a printer that I need to put in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the arrow pointing up under Actions to the far right. When you hover over it, it says Initialize Room Inventory. I'm going to click on that. The first thing it's going to want to know is the product number. Well, most of you are not going to print the catalog and know the product number by heart. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on this icon that looks like binoculars, and that's your search icon. And what they do is they put the model number and the product name on most everything. So I'm just going to type in the model number of the printer. and hit enter. And when I do, it comes up, it's a Ricoh printer. And I go to the right and I click on select. Once I do that, it's going to want me to choose the funding source. So I'm going to say that these printers were bought by Technology. It's going to want you to choose the status. It's being used in this room. Then you're going to scan the tag, the CPS asset tag. And then you're going to scan the serial number. For today, I'm going to scan the tag twice because I don't have any serial numbers. So that's how you get something else in. So let's say I also found in this room a CPU that was missed. I can go up here and I can unlock the lock. I can click on the binoculars again. I'm going to put in the model number for the print or the CPU and hit enter. And there we have a micro tower PC, HP. I'm going to go to the far right and click on select. Once again, it kept these two because I just unlocked the lock. If you click the refresh icon, which are the two blue arrows, it would have cleared all these filters out. I did not want it to clear all these filters out. Now this one has a custom field. The custom fields in CPS are going to be handled by your IT department, so you guys don't need to worry about them. But I'm just going to put a date in there. That's our custom field on our training site. But the custom fields that CPS is using, the IT department are going to take care of them. So I'm going to scan the CPS tag, scan the serial number. So now I've added those two items to the room. If you're not sure about the funding source, I believe that there's one in your live data that's called Initial, because there's going to be items you're not sure about because they were bought on a purchase order before. So if you don't know the funding source, there's going to be one in there. It says Initial or None. I'm not sure which one Willie Dean has gone with. How do you find a product number in a room when there are too many items? Not sure what you're asking. The product numbers are in the catalog. So they're all in the catalog, but the easiest way to search for them is to search by the model number when you're doing the initialization. Okay, don't worry about where you saw that re-image date. That's just something that's on our training database. That's not something you need to worry about it. You're not going to see that. You should have CPS tags on it, but if you don't, you'll need to get hold of either Chester or Willie Dean for additional, they can help you get additional tags. If you want to change the location for an item, that's called a room-to-room transfer. So over on your left hand on your quick tools, you'll see room-to-room. You click on room-to-room. You tell it what room you want to transfer it to. If you need to search, you can do a search, or if you know the room number, you can just type it in and hit enter. What status? I'm going to say a status of in use. And I'm going to lock this because I'm going to scan more than one item. And I'm going to say I'm moving these CPUs into that room. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't lock that up there. That's my fault. So lock the room number if you're going to scan more than one item. So I have now, that's all you do to move items from one room to another. Yes, if you have the CPS tag number, it's very easy to identify the product. Yes, that is easier than looking it up because you can just scan the tag number up here in the search box and it will bring up all the information about that tag, including what product it is. If the asset tags have fallen off of the Chromebooks, you'll request new asset tags. You will do a search by serial number, because if you do a search by serial number, so if I search for this serial number, I'm going to search for it. I'm going to close this and show you I can put the serial number up here and do a search that way. Then you request some new tags, and you click on the green pencil right here in the right-hand corner of the top box. And then you will just scan in here the new tag number that you're putting on it. So you just scan the new tag number. So that's how you replace if a tag has fallen off. And that happens everywhere quite frequently. That's just part of it. How do I see my school's assets in TIPWeb? You can go up to reports. If you want to see everything that's in there, you can go to tags, and you can just tell it that you want to see everything. So just tell it everything that's in the rooms. And if you want to pull them up by status, you can. So if you want to see everything that's available on your campus, you can do it that way. Or you can say all the things that are available and all the things that are in use on your campus. And then just click on Go, and it's going to give you a report of everything on your campus. If you have things that were tagged that should not have been tagged, I believe if you'll report those tag numbers to email that information to Willie Dean, she's taking care of that for you guys. The last I heard, that may have changed. If you email her, she can tell you how they are taking care of that. Because I understand that some personal items were tagged by mistake. Do we have more questions, or did I miss any? Because I'm watching the box to see what other questions we have. It's not that you'll be held responsible for kitchen inventory. You'll just be auditing it. I think it'll be big items. I don't think they're going to move anywhere. So it just will be during audit time. You'll go in, scan, and verify that they're there. I do not know what the end-of-year audits is going to be. I'm not aware of that. That's not something I've been told. Once again, you can email Willie Dean about that, and she should be able to tell you. Stephanie's saying we're going to do training for, we are going to do live trainings for audits in April. So if you look in the Learning Hub, there's going to be a week of live training. There'll probably be 2 or 3 a day. You can schedule or sign up for those, and I highly recommend that you come to the live training, because between now and then I will be instructed on exactly how the audits are going to be handled at your district, so that when I train, I'll know exactly how to train you. Mobile carts, remember, you take and you scan that parent tag or the main tag on the cart, and then everything that's on the mobile cart, you scan it in the Components tab. So be sure to go to the Learning Hub as soon as you get a chance or an opportunity. And, okay, are you receiving my question? I'm not sure what your question was. Once you, and Stephanie's telling you, once you've gone to the live training, you'll get your login information then. I've got the sound turned up as high as it'll go. I apologize for that. Pre-kinder, if you have items in there that are things they're tracking, such as computers or smart boards, printers, anything, then they will inventory that. Stephanie is thinking that there's an issue on the CPS side as far as connecting to the volume. I think that for the next few weeks, Lloydine, as time allows, is going to have live training, so be sure and check in Learning Hub often to see when things are scheduled. No, our RICO copiers, if those are lease copiers, I am not sure if they're tagging lease equipment. I don't know. Stephanie, do you know the answer to that, if they are tagging the RICO copiers? Because those are leased. Yes, this session is being recorded so that you can access it later. If you went to the live training and you never received a username or password, email Willie Dean Tate and tell her that you did not receive your username or password. She usually gave it to, oh, I'm sorry, let me back up. If you went to the live training, you just have to go to CPS's, when you log into your home page, and TIPWeb will be there, and you'll be able to get to it from there. It's based, your single sign-on, so it's based on your Chicago Public School login. The tags wouldn't say TIPWeb, Stephanie. They would say CPS. So if there's CPS tags on them, then yes, they're tracking them. And yes, that is the URL assets.cpu.edu. So during the training, they use the sign-in sheets to create the logins or to give you access. So you should be able to access it as soon as you log into your home page. Donated technology. Yes, I can speak to that because I was lectured about that when I came there and trained. Anything that's donated, whether it's through Donors Choose, parent donates it, company donates it, all donations must be tracked in TIPWeb. They do belong to the school district. They cannot leave the campus that they were donated to unless the principal gives permission, and then they can only go to another CPS campus. So anything that was Donors Choose, you have to let them know that those items are legally CPS's and they must be tagged and tracked. And if they transfer to another campus and they want to take them within Chicago, then the principal has to give them permission. If you got new printers in and they came in after ProBar had been there, you will go to the purchase orders to scan them. Now, if you haven't been to the live training, you might not be aware of that process. Finding out what your teachers have received from Donors Choose. You can actually create an account. I had an AP in one of my trainings there at CPS who told me he just created himself an account for Donors Choose because it will automatically send you an email and let you know what people receive at your campus just because you're law registered. So they found that that was the best way to keep track of Donors Choose was just create themselves an account so they're notified. Yes, you tag all Donor Choose items. They must be tagged and tracked in TIPWeb. I'm just waiting for, there's several people typing right now, so I'm just waiting. Yes, just go to the Learning Hub if you want to attend a hands-on training and go ahead and register. My understanding is on the principals giving permission is that they're working on a process to where that will go to the principal and they will have to give permission through a system. So that is something they're working on, and that will come out further to give you clarification once that's done. Yes, items that teachers purchase through their CTU funds, they must be tagged also. Sure, Jesus. If you want to come to another training, that's fine. We would love for you to come. You can watch the videos, or if you want to come to another hands-on because maybe you didn't start using it yet, that's fine. Yes, you can go ahead and enter the Chromebooks. You want to get the Chromebooks in your system, and then once the cart comes, you will just attach them to the cart by putting them in the Components tab. But the Chromebooks need to be put into the system before you can do that anyway. Yes, some of you came to training and ProBar hadn't been to your campus yet, so therefore you're not using the system or haven't used the system. We don't have a problem with you coming to training again. Yes, and they're still offering training for, we call it, it's not really beginners, it's just the basic training, but yes, there are some in the Learning Hub now already scheduled to take place that you can go in and look for and sign up for those courses. Those are being held now. Remember that if you want a copy of the manual, you'll need to go out to the Learning Hub and print it. The manual is on the Learning Hub, which it also has all the step-by-step instructions in it. Yes, the manual's 105 pages long. It covers everything and then some. Yes, it's not real big, but it's to be printing it. Yes, a lot of people that I saw print it would print it and they put it in a notebook so that they would have it. But it has the actual step-by-step instructions on everything that you'll need. Jesus is printing it. That's good. You had a fire drill? It's cold out. Yes, it's being recorded, so you'll be able to watch it at a later date. But I'm glad it was just a drill, not a real fire. I'm glad you were able to print the manual well. It does come in handy because the step-by-step directions are very good to follow. They have pictures. It's just very easy. Stephanie takes care of that manual, so the one that's on here during the chat box, so you can thank her for that being so easy to use. So got some more questions being entered. So yes, your items are all in a conversion room. So what you're supposed to do is do a room-to-room transfer. So in other words, all those items that are in the conversion rooms, those are items that we converted from your former data that they just weren't sure if the locations were 100% correct. So all you need to do is go to room-to-room transfer and go into the different classrooms where those items are, and you will scan the tags, and that will assign them to those rooms. If ProBar hasn't been there yet, I would wait till ProBar comes because they'll take care of that when they come. The website is assets.cpu.edu. How to change components from one cart to another cart. Okay, let me bring up a cart and let me put some components on it. Just one moment. See the little blue truck on the far right under Actions? That's how you can transfer a component to another cart. You'll just put in the new parent tag number here. You'll scan it in. That's all you have to do to transfer a component from one cart to another. My understanding is you can go to TIPWeb directly from the CPS page. There is not an app yet. My understanding is they're working on creating one. So, but apparently there's a link on the home page. So if you still have items in your conversion room and ProBar's already been there, then yes, those items you'll need to locate and do a room-to-room transfer on those. There should not be that many in the conversion room if ProBar's already been there, but if they are, you'll need to, like I said, do room-to-room transfers locating those items. If all your items are in conversion, has ProBar been there yet? That sounds like ProBar hasn't been to your campus yet. Because if everything's in a conversion room, that means the ProBar has not been there yet to do your inventory. You're saying a group of 7. Okay, then that means that, yes, they've been there, but the data has not been converted yet. So it's still in being converted. Yeah, don't worry. It'll get converted. Like Stephanie said, it takes a little while because we make sure and clean it up. If there's any multiple entries or anything like that, we want to make sure it's as clean and precise as we can. Can I show how to create a report again? Sure. So I'm going to clear this out. So let's say that I wanted to know in my rooms, so I've gone to tags, in my rooms, what printers, so I'm going to put in a product type of printers that I have in a status of available on my campus because I need some more printers. So I'm telling it all the printers that are in rooms that are in a status of available. I want to know how many I have available. And I click on Go. Down below, it's going to show me all the available printers that I have on my campus. Tags is kind of an area that you just get in and you kind of play with it, and that makes it helps you. But you set any filters you need, and if there's filters you don't see, you always have your advanced filters here. And every filter available is going to be under the custom filters, and you just click on the add to add one. It will default to tag, and then you can go in and choose. Just remember that right now you may need to zoom in on your screen to be able to see them all because there are so many. But we do have a feature request in asking that you be able to scroll through these so that you don't have to zoom. I'm just not sure when that's going to come out. Hopefully that helped you answer your question on how to do the reports. Hi, Thomas. So if you were late getting in, we're recording this. I apologize if you had trouble finding it. If you don't have access yet and ProBar has already been there, you definitely need to send Willie Dean Tate an email and she will get you access. Stephanie, do you have Willie Dean's email address that you could put in there for them? Stephanie's going to get that email address for you. She is the person at your district who gives you access. So the email address to contact her is just tipweb@cps.edu. And just send her an email and she can answer questions you may have that are about your login. There is a frequently asked questions document out there that Stephanie is referring to that's on the Knowledge Center. So we are on your Knowledge Center. They're at CPS. You can just do a search by TIPWeb in the Knowledge Center. You shouldn't need a training to see your live data. If they were there in June, yours should be there. I would email Willie Dean and ask her if there is a reason that your data is not showing up. The one thing I can tell you all is if you go to Rooms, and up there on the right-hand side there's reports, and you do one of the reports, either the inventory report or the inventory worksheet, either one, that's going to give you a report of all the items on your campus and what room they're in or assigned to. So if you pull that report, you should be able to see. You wouldn't have to necessarily go through tags to pull that report. This is an easier one to pull maybe for you. It should show you all that. There are not pictures in yours, but it would give you all the tags and what room they're assigned to. That may be a report that you want to pull. Yeah, if your report is blank, you need to check with her and see if there was an issue with your data. How can you repeat that? Sure. So you go to Rooms on the navigation bar, and in the right-hand corner of the grid, you'll see where it says please select room report. You can either pull up the room inventory report or the room inventory worksheet, either one, and that will pull up a report that tells you room by room what's in each room. So like this is room 1000, and then it shows you everything that's in room 1000. And then it goes to the next room. Let me show you the other one, room inventory worksheet. It's a little more condensed so that you don't have to use as much paper. It doesn't have the barcodes or the pictures, so it is more condensed, but it also will show you what each room should have. And it actually gives you a place where they can check it. So if you want to give your staff a copy of what's assigned to the rooms, they could double check and make sure everything's there. So either one of those reports will give you everything that's assigned in your school. Oh, Thomas, we had this discussion a lot in training about what to do when the kids are moving to Chromebooks. So they're not returning them to the same cart every day. Is that what you're telling me? Are moving Chromebooks from classroom to classroom. They get messed up. Some of the people that I had in training said that they were marking them with a tag in some way so they knew what cart they belonged to, whether it was a color-coded tag or a number. I mean, the best answer would be for the students to be told they are to put the Chromebooks back in the cart they got them from, but I know that can be hard to implement. So some of them said they were just putting some kind of sticker on the bottom that denoted what cart they went to. If you want to know how to add missing items that ProBar missed, go to the Learning Hub and watch the video on initialization. Right, so looks like Mr. Richard or Miss Richard had been to the training because she is saying that they number their Chromebooks and carts. Yeah, the kids are bad about not listening, so I would almost maybe either go with color-coded dots on the bottom and then put a color code on the cart, or label them with labels. So we're going to go ahead and start closing this webcast out because we're running out of time. The best thing to do when you have questions like you asked about the Chromebooks is to talk to other campuses. So Thomas, if you get a hold of Andrade, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, maybe they could help you, or looks like Patel also has a system worked out. So if you kind of talk among yourselves, that's sometimes the best resource on how to come up with answers. Richard is saying go to the TECO website. No, there's not a sequence in order. It's kind of depending on what you're wanting to do, that's the order you're going to watch the webcast, depending on what you're trying to do at that time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close this out. This recording will be posted. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to email them to tipweb@cps.edu, and we will be happy to help. Be sure to check in the Learning Hub for future live trainings and for webcasts. We want to help you. We want you to be successful, and we are there for you. So you have unlimited access to help. Don't forget you have the toll-free number, and all that is posted on the Learning Hub in the Knowledge Center. The toll-free number you can call, and all the different ways you can get help. So have a great day, and we appreciate you guys being on this webcast today. Jesus, as much as possible, yes, you can. I mean, the ProBar group will be within your building, so that they're going to need, they usually have someone that kind of helps them anyways to make sure that they have access, but it's usually the building engineer. But if you needed to be with them, you just need to let them know when they come. Okay, and thank you, and have a great day. Bye.